Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Monday, the 9th of November. Okay, looking at the Eurodollar first, and as you can see, we made somewhat of a recovery through the Asian session, or started a bit of a recovery through the Asian session from Friday's sell-off on the euro. We have the weekly pivot above us. We could just be running in on some price levels back into this daily 8. In fact, let me just click on and just use a different currency feed for a moment. Yep, it's just run into the upper bands there, the 4-hourly 8s rather. So we are finding a bit of resistance around that level. If we can start breaking back up above those levels, that level, we could get into there's a daily pivot above us and maybe the weekly pivot at some point early-ish this week. Seems a bit overstretched on some time frames. I've got on a 4-hourly time frame and a 60-minute time frame. I've sort of got a bit of an oversold sort of signal coming through on the euro. But sometimes when it's sold off quite as strong, it takes a little bit longer before it actually sets up and gets a decent retrace. But for now, I really need to see if we can break it. If we can break the daily pivot, then I'd be looking today for the weekly pivot and those prior lows as a sort of target sort of area, maybe the R1. If it does start selling off this morning and making for new lows, I would look for the S1 there, look for the break of the lows here, this trend line, and for the S1. But there's a reasonable chance we can see the weekly pivot hit earlier on. Holding beyond that, I'm not really looking for a major bounce. I still remain relatively bearish on the euro. It's broken through some. Just bring this daily into picture. Broken through the key lows before. Oops, done this before. These key lows, and it's quite a way down this 105 sort of area before we find the sort of next level of support. So we're some distance away from that. Okay, let's have a look at the pound. Still really strong. 2 strong days last week. In fact, we're on a fourth day now of 3 down days there. We may get a bit of a retrace again on some pairs. It's some feeds. Let's just show cable on a different feed there. It looks like it's come up a little bit further. Not quite caught it on here, but certainly got closer. But there could be some resistance above us at that sort of level. Again, we've got the weekly pivot, which is reasonable probability of being hit, but I really need to see how it pans out after 8 o'clock. The daily pivot just above us there. I'll be watching for a test if it runs into that, test into that for potential reversals back in trend. But as I say, we have got the weekly pivot above us, so anything above the daily pivot, then I'll possibly be looking for a slightly more retracement to the upside. But I really want it to be above the daily pivot before I was to get on a proper long position. Okay, that's the pound, that's dollar yen. Dollar yen flew out of this. Let me show you a full picture here. Flew even out of this sort of area it's been sitting in for some time now. It's broken out and pushed on up. Looks like it may want to push back towards the 125 level, maybe even in beyond the way it's going at the moment. However, once again, we've got sort of daily pivots and weekly pivots sitting below us. It's one thing we're seeing here is seeing pricing running up. We've got the RSI slipping down here, which may be signs of weakness, but for now, I'm not going to take anything until I see to the short side, until I see a break of this trend line that I've drawn on here, and then I'll be careful of these 21s moving averages, but then the daily could come into play. But it seems like it's quite a few points away from it. It's over 50, 60 points now away from the pivot. It may struggle to get back towards that level. It might be even that post 8 o'clock we get a push up towards that R1 area at 123.71 area, so 72 area may push up, but the bigger picture really looks like it's going to continue in that vein. Okay, and finally Aussie dollar. Let's switch out, looking at the dailies here first, and it's been in this sort of pattern of downward, lower highs, lower lows in this sort of pattern it's playing out at the moment. Again, it has potential to the upside in terms of the weekly pivot, but it's just selling off. It's run into its 4-hourly 8 moving average at the moment, and selling off a little bit here from the 21s that sort of correspond with that, and looking relatively weak. Now, reversals at some point here may give us a move back to the daily pivot. The weekly pivot's not that far ahead either, but post 8 o'clock, if it continues in this mode and breaks what may be a trend there, in fact, it may be beginning a trend sort of sitting across here. There we go, sitting across those 2 points there earlier on. Well, if it breaks that level, maybe looking for the short side for the lows and Friday's lows, and then towards the S1 area. Okay, that's that. Let's just check on my news events here. We've got this morning not very much coming out at all. We've Centix investigator. There's nothing really. Eurogroup meetings are starting today, and it may be the Eurogroup meetings themselves. We get some comments from these. They tend to discuss all sorts of issues, financial issues. So we could see some comments coming through the morning and through the day from those meetings. So the unexpected comments more than anything that's planned. Okay, that's it for me. I hope you have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.